Today we will learn about cell, the fundamental unit of life. Now, you know what is a cell? Cell is the tiniest particle with which a human body is made up of. A human body or a plant body or any living organism is made up of. So basically a cell is the beginning of our body. Like we are made up of billions and billions of cells. A human body, a plant body, a bacteria or whatever, like any living organism is made out of cells. So what is a cell? A cell is defined as a mass of protoplasm having a distinct nucleus and limited by a plasma membrane. So cell is a mass of protoplasm. So it is made up of protoplasm which is limited in the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane can also be known as the cell membrane. It's like a boundary, like a wall in which it contains protoplasm. Now, the protoplasm is jelly-like transparent granular substance that occurs everywhere in the cell. It responds to stimuli like pinprick, electric shock, chemicals and sudden variations in light and temperature. If it is removed from the cell dies. So the protoplasm is like when we respond to stimuli, like when we touch a hot thing, how we just give a jerk and remove our hand behind. Or if something pricks to us, so how we just lay like we become ouch. So that is response to stimuli. It is that something which is trying to attack us or something which we are not comfortable with, we respond to it, is known as response to stimuli. So what is responsible for that? The protoplasm. The protoplasm does response to stimuli. It is a transparent granular substance. The cell is basically filled with the protoplasm. Now, what are the different parts of this cell? It's a cytoplasm and nucleoplasm. What is cytoplasm? It is a protoplasm that occurs between the plasma membrane and the nucleus. And the nucleoplasm is a portion of the protoplasm that occurs in the nucleus and is limited by the nuclear membrane. The protoplasm are of two types. The one is cytoplasm and one is nucleoplasm. Now what is cytoplasm? It is a portion of the protoplasm that occurs between the plasma membrane and the nucleus. And what is nucleoplasm? It is the portion of protoplasm that occurs in the nucleus and is limited to the nuclear membrane. So you will find protoplasm in two places. One is between the plasma membrane and the nucleus, and one is inside the nucleus, which is bounded by the nuclear membrane. So there the protoplasm is divided into two parts. Now all cells are either simple or complex. Now simple means what? They do not contain a nucleus. They do not contain a nucleus, and the nucleoplasm, which is bounded in the nucleus and in between the cell membrane, comes directly in contact with the cytoplasm because there is no nuclear membrane, as there is no nucleus in the simple cell. Now the simple cells are also known as prokaryotes, meaning before nucleus. Simple cells, which make up the bacteria and blue-green algae, do not have a nucleus and are called prokaryotes, meaning before nucleus. And what is a complex cell? A complex cell has a nucleus that contains DNA, a nucleic acid that stores genetic information. What is DNA? DNA is a nucleic acid which stores genetic information. Now, these cells are called as eukaryotes, meaning true nucleus. Animals, plants, fungi, and some single cell organisms have complex cells. So now what are the two types of cells? A simple cell and a complex cell. Simple cell are known as prokaryotes and complex cell are known as eukaryotes. Prokaryotes do not have a nucleus and they are also known as bifid nucleus. And eukaryotes, or the complex cells, have a nucleus and they are known as true nucleus. So till now we have learnt about the cell, introduction of it, like what are eukaryotic cells, what are prokaryotic cells, and what is a cell made up of. Now we will learn that what is the shape, what is the size, what is the structure of the cell. So first let us learn how the cell looks like what is the shape of a cell. In general, there is no typical shape for cells. Both plant and animal cells show varied shapes such as spherical, oval, rectangular, polygonal, spindle-shaped, rod-shaped, star-shaped, or irregular as the nerve cell. So obviously the cells are of different types of shape. Till now there is not, you cannot say no, cells are only oval shape, or you cannot say that they are only spherical shape or they are only rectangular shape. They can be of different shapes. It depends on what function the cell is doing. The size depends, or the shape depends upon that. Now what is the size? The size of the cell ranges from 1/10 to 1,000 of a millimeter. So can you imagine how tiny a cell is? It is absolutely not possible for us to see with our naked eyes. We will surely need a microscope to see the cells. Cells are generally microscopic, but certain cells, like the nerve cell in the elephant, has been found to measure up to 1 meter. Okay, so that's the only cell which, of course, because it is 1 meter long, we will be able to view it without the microscope. You can view it with our naked eyes. Now, what is the structure of the cell? A cell, as seen under a light microscope, reveals the following main components. A cell wall, which is absent in the animal cells. The plasma membrane, which encloses the mass of protoplasm. So basically, a cell wall is present only in plant cells and not in animal cells. The plasma membrane, or we can also call it as a cell membrane, which is present in both plants and animal cells. So a cell wall present only in plant cells, not in animal cells, and the plasma membrane, which encloses the protoplasm, is present in both the types of cells, the animal and the plant cell. Now a cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? It is a part of protoplasm between the plasma membrane and the nuclear envelope. Okay, so it's between the plasma membrane. Cytoplasm is the liquid, transparent jelly-like thing which is between the plasma membrane, that is the cell wall, and the nuclear envelope. It is composed of the matrix, a transparent, homogeneous, semi-fluid substance, and the organelles. Organelles are the different parts of the cell. Okay. Now organelles are living part of the cell having definite shape, structure, and function. So the organelles are the different parts of the cells which have definite shape. They also have a definite structure and a definite function. Then what is the third part? A nucleus is also present. It contains one or more dense bodies called nucleoli, and a network of thread-like structure called chromatin. Now note that eggs are giant cells. The eggs are giant cells. Whatever their size, they are just single cell. An egg itself is a single cell. The largest egg of a living organism is that of the ostrich. It can be up to 25 centimeters long and it can weigh up to 1.5 kg. So the ostrich egg is the largest cell in the world. What is a prokaryotic cell? In lower organisms like bacteria and blue-green algae, the nuclear membrane is absent. As such, the nuclear material is in direct contact with cytoplasm. Such cells are called as prokaryote.